Alright, guys, we are back with another video. This video today is going to be about fitness and diet in the black community and things that are entities that are trying to stop us from getting to our goal. So, basically, guys, today I'm going to be pretty much going over how in our world, and as far as African Americans, um, it is set up by design for us to fail when it comes to our diet and being physically fit. Um, we all know that if you go to any black community, heavily dominated black community, you don't see a lot of things um, that are actually evolved around fitness. You don't see a lot of gyms. You might see a Planet Fitness, but that's it. Nothing really heavily promoting, healthy living. Nothing. You see, one thing you do when you go to a lot of black communities is you see a lot of chicken wing spots, a lot of Chinese spots. The Chinese are heavily with, like I said, chicken wings and just a lot of Popeyes, churches, the KFC all-you-can-eat buffets, and I meant the KFC all-you-can-eat chicken buffets. So you see a lot of those type of restaurants among other type of the usual suspects. And it's something that I've noticed over time and over the years. Is like you see a lot of pawn shops, check cashing places. Things are just set up by design for us to fail. And I'm going to more so focus on the health part, but they just the powers that be do not promote a healthy lifestyle in the black community. And even when you have predominantly blacks in predominantly white communities, and if you go to that area, on like a day where it's nice outside, the majority of people you see walking and jogging are not black people. Whether it's in a rich white neighborhood or a middle class white neighborhood that's predominantly white, and you got your sprinkle of blacks, but definitely in a predominantly black neighborhood, you don't see nobody out there walking, running. It might be a 1% of somebody that might be jogging or running or having their baby in a stroller with the big, with the big aggressive wheels on the stroller, running with it. But you don't see that in the hood. You don't see that in the hood. And the sad thing about it is you'll never see that in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So it's a disparity that's the way it is. But it's set up like that. And it's set up like that for us to take the bait. Just like with anything else you see out in the hood, whether it's a check cashing place. They don't put these things in white neighborhoods. Because they know that's a detriment to anyone who uses those type of services. It is. But we fall victim to that, and nobody complains, nobody says, oh, well, they should take them out. No, they don't do that because we actually utilize those services. Popeyes. In every black neighborhood, like if you're in a white neighborhood, you got to leave the white neighborhood to go to the so-so side of town to go to a Popeyes. Majority, I'm not saying all of the time, but majority of the times. Majority of the times, if you go to a heavily populated white neighborhood, you're not going to see Popeyes on every corner. It's not set up like that. It's not. And you wonder why it's set up like that. And the thing of it is, it's kind of like having a rattlesnake in the middle of your living room and you're just walking around it. Well, we see it's there, but ain't nobody gonna say nothing because you're so used to it. You got a deadly rattlesnake. Let's not even say in the middle of the living room. Let's say in every corner of the living room is a rattlesnake. And black people, We know it's there, and it's in plain sight, but we don't do anything about it. And the thing with us is that we have all these health conditions and heart disease and the Lizzos and everyone and the Tyra Banks that wants to promote all of this unhealthy living and diabetes, and it's just killing black folks. It's just killing us. You know what I'm saying? And then if you go to talk to a lot of black people and you try to like have some type of seminars or things of that nature about health and all this kind of stuff, we got one excuse. That it's like a universal excuse. Man, if I just had the time. That's our one go-to, our one scapegoat. If I just had the time. Man, I ain't got time to do that, man. But you know what? When I find some time, I'm going to get with it. But the thing of it is that with black people, we make time for things that we want to do. And I was always told, whatever you want to do, you'll find time for it. Whatever you want to do, you will find time for it. And that's just the way it is. And that's definitely when it comes to working out, But the weird thing is if a doctor calls us in and tells us, hey, we need to have you come in because it looks like your blood sugar levels are kind of high and we need to put you on this diet. Oh, we'll make time to go to the doctor. Yeah, of course. And we'll make time to go to the pharmacy to pick up the drugs, and we will make time to go and give ourselves insulin. We will do that. You never heard a black person saying, oh, well, I don't have time to get my meds today. No, they make time. They make time. They'll make time. A lot of us will make time for things that we love to do for fun. I'm not saying that you can't have fun, but we will make time for that. And we'll have zero excuses on, things that we love to do and making time for it. So why can't we apply that same logic to getting fit, getting healthy, getting in shape? I know when I used to swim, this was when I was younger, before I joined the Navy, and I would want to go to the pool or whatever like that, and I'd be dating a black girl. First thing a black girl say, oh no, I can't get my hair wet. You know what I'm saying? And I think swimming is one of the most underrated, best type of cardio activities, that you can do, because you're working all muscle groups. And on top of that, it's cardio. But a lot of sisters, they don't do that because of their hair, And then you have like a lot of sisters saying, well, I can't do that. I might almost sweat my weave out. You notice a common denominator here. A lot of sisters don't work out because of their hair. So that goes back to what I was saying before. We make time for what we want to do. I don't want to sweat my weave out. Okay. So your weave is going to basically hinder you from basically helping give yourself longevity. Okay. So you see what I'm talking about? We make time for things that we want to do. So it's just it's and the thing of it is too, I preferably like a woman that's fit, a woman that's defined, a woman that has definition, a woman that's got a nice, six pack. I like that. That's my preference. You know what I'm saying? But in the black community, it's hard to find a woman that's very into fitness like that. It's hard. I'm not saying that it's not hard to find, but it is very hard to find a black woman into fitness. There's a very small niche of black women that actually are doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, you see a lot, like, you go to these fitness Instagram pages and these these Facebook pages, and you see a lot of black men that are really into fitness and health and stuff like that. And a lot of them I see, they're with another race. They're either with someone of the white descent or someone of like the Latin descent. And I know that they say, oh well, a lot of Latin people a lot of Latin people have the same philosophy as black people. They do. They love to eat. We love to eat. They're pretty much predisposed to a lot of different health issues as well. But lesser two evils. You see a lot more. You see a lot more of that than you do black people, as far as the Latino community. They do a lot more working out than blacks. But yeah, and it's very sad that happens. It's very unfortunate that we don't take that into consideration. Another thing too, in a previous video, is that I was saying that we don't really invest our money in a lot of things that are for health. We don't invest pretty much. I mean, I'm trying to think of any black person that's invested, any black billionaire that's really invested into anything that's health conscious or gyms or anything like that. I know Rick Ross. And this is off the top of my head. Rick Ross, he invested into I think like maybe a couple of chains of Wingstops. And also Magic Johnson, I think he invested into maybe hundreds of Starbucks. Those are the only really two that I know that I invested. Maybe you have some silent investors out there, but yeah, So I'm gonna make a part 2 of this video. My storage is running out, so this will be one of two. So I will be back in a few.